Palmistry reading of a 28-year-old male. His main questions were regarding relationship and career prospects. So we would be dealing about these two things in this particular palmistry video. Before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. To get a reading from me, you can call me or you can email me. These are the number and the email that are mentioned out here. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image of his. He is 28 years old, so we are going to be talking about his relationship as well as money part. See, the first thing to look at the relationship, we have to look at the heart line. This is basically the heart line. In the right hand, the heart line is a little bit different compared to that we see on the left hand. The left hand is the hand of past, left hand is the passive hand, left hand is not the active hand, but we do not ignore the left hand as well. In this case, you would find the line of heart to be extremely simple, deep and clear, without any branches over it, without any island over it, without any branches like these. So it's considered to be a beautiful sign when you have a simple kind of a heart line. Simple kind of a heart line means the person is doesn't have any anxiety or stress or any such thing. This line, the heart line, is also seen in terms of your relationships as well. See, you might have a very good relationship, or some people might not have a good relationship with their partner. But it all boils down to how we are able to cope up with those issues. If we have got like some people might have a reasonably good partner, but yet they might be stressed up if they have these branches over it, or if the heart line is unclear. But out here, the person has got a deep and clear line, at least in the left hand, which means that the person is not anxiety prone and the person is focused. Focus is also seen in terms for your career prospects as well. So when the heartline is something like this, deep and clear, it means that the person is focused to one particular thing in his life, and the person is dedicated, and the person is offering his life to a single cause or a single relationship. So this is considered to be a good sign for all aspects, the relationship part as well as the career prospects. So do not think that the money line can tell everything regarding your money part. It is also each and every line on your palm that plays a part in your success or failure. And the most important line according to me is your heart line. Heart line tells, can we take stress or not, can we handle anxiety or not. So this person can handle anxiety, stress in a very good way. It's not like that he's handling it right now. The person would be handling his anxiety and stress right from a very early age, right from his childhood. This thing would have been there. So this is what the left hand is showing. So coming back to the right hand, you'd notice that there's a break out here. The break in the heart line means somewhere, like it means a break in a relationship, or relationship issues might crop up. But this is only one such issue that might crop up. Otherwise, if you notice, the heartline is very distinct and clear in the earlier phase as well as later phase as well. So in itself, it is extremely good. Now coming back to the heartline, this branch that we see somewhere out here, this line is considered to be an extremely good line. Any line pointing towards the heart, towards the fingers, are considered to be positive. Any line pointing downwards from the heart line towards the headline or the base of the palm is considered to be good. So imagine, even from the headline, if there's something line going downward, it is bad. Any line going upward is considered to be good. So as far as the heart line goes, there's an upward kind of a line, and it's pointing towards the mount of Mercury. See, Mercury is a very important planet for our career prospects, and Mercury planet, whenever it is good, and whenever like the heart line is pointing towards the mount of Mercury, it means that the heart inclination is towards something that they love to do, like it could be calculations, it could be mathematics, it could be law, it could be physics, it could be mathematics, like their whole life heart energies is getting guided by Jupiter. So it's a beautiful sign to have. If you see in the hands of few famous people, there are two or three. There could be many, but one of the top gynec I saw, she had a heartline something like this. A top lawyer I saw, and who might become a judge, even he had the similar kind of a line. Shah Rukh Khan's daughter even has it. Then Ranbir Kapoor even he has it. So this is considered to be a good sign. This is also the area of your skill. This is area of your communication. This is area of your calculation. So in that way, it might be playing out in some way, in a very important way, like in his life, in some way or the other. So this is what the heartline is showing. So heartline is of great importance. Now the heartline is also ending somewhere close to the area of mount of Saturn. Saturn is basically for money, possessions, wealth. Saturn is for wisdom. Saturn is for being grounded. Saturn is for also for being responsible towards the resources. So these people manage resources very well, and the heartline that ends on the mount of Saturn means that his whole inclination is towards money, and money plays a major role in his life. Money plays a major role in his happiness, and he angles towards money part in his life. And this has been always been there. It's not like it's coming right now, but it has always been there. And the heartline that curves a little bit towards the end out here, you see this line is curving. Some people just might have the heartline that is just straight away ending right here under the mount of Saturn, but out here it's curving or towards the mount of Saturn. So it basically signifies that the person could be passionate, the person displays their emotions, the person just can't keep his emotions in check. So this is one part. Now we compare the heartline to the headline. This is the headline. You notice the headline is much longer compared to the heartline in comparison. So it basically signifies that the person is could be an extremely headstrong person. The person can take very hard kind of decisions. So this is what the person is. And at the same time, see, the length of the line doesn't mean long, the line doesn't mean more intelligence. It is just the mental boundaries. Imagine this is just a boundary that the person creates. This is basically the mental boundaries, and these mental boundaries are hard to break. So this is what is basically represented by a strong headline. So the person would never break. Even when we see a break out here, so what happens is that there is a break in the heartline, but because of the strength of the headline, the person doesn't face any emotional issues as well, because the person is able to kind of strengthen his heart also with his mental energies. So this is what is represented by a strong headline, and it's a good sign to have a strong headline. Uh, but many people, like something like I would say a top lawyer, Ram Jethmalani, he has a short line. Shah Rukh Khan is also has short line. So we can't say that short heartline headline would mean less intelligence. It has more to do with mental boundaries the person basically creates. Like Arvind Kejriwal, he has got a long line of head, so strong mental boundaries. So you can't come out of those boundaries very easily. So now the other part of the hand is basically the money line. The money line is originating on the mount of moon. This is the area where the money line, the Saturn line, the line of fate is originating. The fate line, whenever it originates on the mount of moon, it basically signifies that the person would get benefits after marriage. The person could also gain from mother's side, sister's side, from sister, mother, wife, female friends, unknown people, foreigners, travel, and service industry. This is where the main and trading activity. This is where the main gain comes from. So if the person is doing all these kind of things, or water related or white collar job, this is where the person's main gains are going to come from. And uh, and this is a fairly strong kind of a line of fate that we see out here. And a strong fate line brings in stability to your personal life as well. But what we find here, that once it touches the line of head, this is the line of head, this is the line of fate. So this intersection is age 35. This portion of the fate line is before the age of 35. This portion of the fate line is after the age of 35. And as it touches the heart line, the age is 53. This portion is 53. The intersection of the heart and the headline is age 53. So you would notice that at the intersection of the head and the fate line, the line of fate becomes a kind of loses its strength, but another line basically develops out here in parallel. So two parallel incomes can start after the age of 35, and the line is extremely dim, so it's not good to have a very dim kind of a line, but because you have a supporting strong line, then it's considered to be good. I'm just going to take another hand image so that I can correlate on the other hand image as well. In the left hand as well, you would find that the money line is starting from the area of Mount of Moon, and apart from that, you would notice that there are small branches that are kind of joining in into the main fate line. So imagine fate line to be a river, and the branches that are joining in are the tributaries. So these are basically gains that come to this particular person, and this is all in the early period of one's life. This is all somewhere close to before the age of let's say before the age of 35 or so. Now we also have to take a look at other lines as well, and this is basically the Mercury line going towards the Mercury mount, and the money line. This is the money line, and this is basically the headline. So a combination of three lines make this triangle. This triangle name is basically money triangle. Why we say money triangle? Because it is formed with the headline, that is the thought process. The Mercury is the skill and calculation and communication, and basically the money line is basically the money line. So money line in itself can't give you everything. It's a combination of the skills that bring in success. So if the line of skills is good, automatically the chances for your fate increases, because it is due to your own skills that you gain money. It's not like just because of a strong money line that you would get money. It is a combination of your skills that bring in money part. And in the left hand, you would notice that the sun line is not so deep and clear beyond 53. Above the heart line, you would notice that the sun line is a little bit better. So strength in the sun line can mean that the person strengthens his career. The weak line out that you see out here from the age of 35 to 53, it means doubts. The line is very thin, barely visible. It means that the person might not be energizing his work. It might mean that the person would have that clouds all around him, and the person wouldn't know what the person wants to do. So at one point I'm saying that it's all cloudy and full of doubts, and the other portion where I had mentioned earlier that the heart line is deep and clear and singular means highly focused, highly dedicated. So it's not one line that might bring negativity or positivity. It's a combination of lines that bring positivity and negativity. So in general, if we say, it's a combination of lines that would bring in success, not one line, but it's a combination of many lines together. So heartline plays a major role. Do not think that heartline has got less importance. Heartline is the most important line. Imagine a situation where there is a great opportunity that comes about in your life. Some people, but there might be some risk involved. But so what's going to happen is that some people just might not avail that opportunity because they kind of would get stressed up or anxiety prone, but this person wouldn't get stressed up. This person is dedicated. The person is practicing detachment. Detachment is opposite of attachment. Attachments bring in expectation. Expectations are not fulfilled. That is why disappointments come in, and that's why your performance goes down. But out here, it's the opposite. Detachment. Detachment basically means being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome. Bhagavad Gita basically says you need to practice detachment. Something like example of Sachin Tendulkar, imagine Sachin Tendulkar, he has a similar kind of a line. Imagine Sachin Tendulkar, he gets out at zero for 5 times in a row. So high expectations are there from all of India. So what's going to happen is, because the person is focused, because the person practices detachment, so the person is going to not going to look at the past, what has happened. He might have gotten out for zero for 5 times, but he would go there on the field and say that I'm not going to make the mistakes that I made in the past, and I'm going to be in the present. So people who are in the present, they achieve success. People who are kind of attached, or people who are flirtatious, people who are flirtatious, they have these kind of lines. People who are not focused, they have broken kind of lines. So broken kind of lines, islanded kind of lines are basically bad kind of lines. Out here, it's perfect. So as such, if you take a look, the hand structure, this is another very, very important part. The hand structure plays a major role in the palm reading. I'm coming towards the end of my reading, so this is the main thing that I want to say. See, it's not the lines that bring success, it is also the hand structure. And hand structure plays a major role compared to your, even in comparison to your lines. Even if you have the best of lines, even if you have the best of sun line, best of mercury line, best of line of money, still you can't success if the hand structure is not good. Hand structure means bone structure. If it is strong, reasonably strong, and there's padding over the mouth, it means, it signifies that the person would be rich in qualities, and the person would have a good hold over people, money, and resources. So you would notice that the person has got a reasonably strong mount of Venus. Venus is the area of energy, and you find that the person has got reasonably good mount of Jupiter. Jupiter is of forward looking. The person is forward looking, and the person is growth oriented, and the person is ambitious, and the person knows how to organize things, and the person knows how to manage things. So this area of Jupiter signifies administration, religion, politics, and honor. So the person knows how to do all these kind of things. This kind of a upward kind of a line that you see, backward kind of a line out here, pointing towards the mount of Jupiter. So this brings in high position and honor. You would notice less lines or no kind of a strong line on the mount of Saturn, the area of money line. So you don't need to worry about that, because even if you don't have a money line, people are super successful. So you don't need to worry about that aspect. The sun line is a little bit dim, so here you need to be careful that you need to energize your work more. In comparison, light line means having doubts. So these things need to be removed completely from your, you just have to come out of that particular mode and remove all the doubts, and like kind of anger towards only a single work. That's when you're going to be successful. You have to remain committed to the skills you have basically accumulated, because skills that you accumulate are going to, are the only way you can succeed. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video, and press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. I'm just going to talk about some of the most important things in the palm reading. People want to know about money, possessions, wealth. Money can be known from heart, head, life, sun, any other line. Importance of money line is just 15%. Try to understand, money line plays an important role, but only to the extent of 15%, nothing more than that. And it's the other lines as well that bring success or failure. You'll notice that there are comparatively less lines on the palm, so less lines are automatically considered to be better than having more lines. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. And you need to have good company, because good company will kind of remove all the negative things in your life and take you towards positive direction. One last thing, people generally want to know about love marriage, arranged marriage, what they are going to be basically having. Now this, in this case, the heart line is ending under the mount of Saturn. Saturn is basically for money, possessions, wealth. and this is for outer appearances, because money is the outer appearances. This is not purity. Saturn doesn't give purity in love. Saturn brings in responsibility. Saturn person makes the person grounded, but Saturn is not for idealistic love. Saturn is for realistic love. And the heartline that basically ends on the Mount of Saturn means that the person would be more traditional even in his relationship. So a traditional kind of a marriage can be expected, but not necessarily that the person would purely go by arranged marriage. The person could also go by the love marriage, provided he finds a person who is good, outward looking. The person should be good and should be financially stable, or from coming from a good rich family. This is when these people would try to choose their partner from those particular families. That's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. If you like the video, click on the like button. Bye and take care.